Welcome to Fractal Findings. I'm your host, Aletheia M. This podcast is brought to you exclusively by Quantum Nest, LLC. Snowflake. What image first appears in your mind's eye when you hear the word snowflake? Do you see just one snowflake? Or are they grouped together in a cluster of snowflakes falling from the sky? What is the speed of the snowflake? Is it quickly falling to the ground by the ravenous howling winds from a blizzard? Or is it slowly melting on your tongue by the subtle warmth of the luminous sun? Are you sitting in a cozy chair with your favorite blanket wrapped around your arms, seeing the flakes from a window inside of your home? Or are you outside, wearing a scarf and jacket, experiencing the thrilling wonder of the snowflakes as they are dancing together in diagonal invisible lines of light? Now, change your perspective. Are the snowflakes bringing you memories? Do they remind you of your childhood? Do they remind you of wonder? Do they remind you of Christmas? Do they remind you of gifts? What if I told you that a snowflake has power? What if I told you that a snowflake has the power of truth? What if I told you that the crystal that makes up the snowflake is an expression of truth? What if I told you that a gift is not something that you find under a tree or something that someone gives to you? What if a gift is something inside of you? A gift that can never be stolen. A gift that you always have possession of. A gift that you never have to pay for. A gift that you are born with. A gift that lives as crystals, vibrating inside of your body. Every single one of the crystals overflowing with gifts. The power of the snowflake is the power of the fractal. A snowflake is a fractal. The shape of the snowflake can be described by the von Koch curve. This curve describes the intricate, complex, yet incredibly simple structure of the snowflake. It's called a Koch snowflake. The word fractal comes from the Latin word fractus, meaning broken. The Koch snowflake is broken in order to create more variations of itself. It breaks in order to build. It breaks in order to build something new. There is a simple 3-step process in constructing these fractal forms. First, divide a line into 3 equal parts. Second, remove the middle part. Third, replace the missing part with 2 opposite sides of an equilateral triangle. The iterations of fractals are infinite, yet bounded within the context of its form. A fractal is self-similar. It copies infinite versions of itself. The more you zoom into the fractal, the more you see the same image. It involves repetition. It performs 3 simple steps over and over and over again. It has a recursive construction, meaning it is composed of smaller scale copies of itself. Fractals are abstract and cannot be properly understood by classical geometry and mathematics. Fractals are abstract yet at the same time, they describe real phenomena in the world. They properly describe physical, economic, and social phenomenon. The key to understanding the nature of fractals is by understanding the nature of scaling. When objects, images, events, experiences, ideas, properties, and principles are viewed over an approximate range of scales, then the particular scale you choose to view the object from remains the same. The only difference is that the closer you zoom into the picture, the finer the details become. The object goes from an irregular, rigid, ambiguous shape to a well-defined, easily identifiable shape that gives the viewer an entirely new perspective and appearance of the whole, bigger, greater picture. There is another universal property of fractals that can explain how a gift can reveal a truth that lives inside of your body. Fractals can be described by a set, or a collection of points, shapes, or figures that are plotted on a plane or flat surface. Once you have calculated the specific positions of the set as coordinates on a plane, then you can discover 4 powerful characteristics of the fractal. The first is the origin point, defined by a pair of numbers. The second is the location of the pair of numbers. The third is the pair of numbers in relationship to a function on the plane. The fourth and final characteristic is that you can discover the function on the plane as it is defined by an iteration or a simple operation of the coordinates. The iteration is a repeated application of the simple operation that creates the complex fractal form. In other words, by applying the characteristics and properties of fractals to the language of the gene keys, you can easily see how a gift is a power inside of your body. The language of the gene keys is the spectrum of consciousness that creates fractalized, scaled-down copies of itself on multiple planes of reality. A gene key is a word that resonates as a frequency of light interpreted by DNA. DNA is the small-scale origin point creating the instructions of the complex, large-scale structure of your body. DNA is in the shape of a spiral. The shape of the spiral is a fractal. The Von Koch curve describes the simple shape of the spiral. The Koch snowflake is a fractal of DNA. The snowflake can be understood as a location, either inside a house, looking through a window, or outside a house, playing with these frozen forms of water. The snowflake is understood as a memory. A memory is a fractal of time. Time is a fractal of consciousness. Memories always involve a relationship between a pair of numbers, 1 and 2, and the invisible third, you, the other, and what connects you to the other. Your thoughts, the images that form these thoughts, and the emotion between those thoughts. The snowflake, the snowball fight, your feelings of victory and play. The snowball fight, your childhood friends, the feelings of connection and oneness. The snowflake, the feelings of connection and oneness, and the feelings of winter and home. The feelings of winter and home, the feeling of Christmas, and the exchanging of gifts. your hands that open the gift. The hands of your significant other who wrapped the gift for you, and the feelings of love and gratitude after the gifts have been opened and exchanged. From the perspective of the 23rd gene key, the shadow of complexity rises to the gift of simplicity by the nature of rhythm and timing as it is perceived and expressed by the body, by the physical hands, by your hands. The divine gift of quintessence is the essence of complexity. Quintessence is a subtle field of energy, of etheric energy, as the ether that creates, connects, combines, infuses, and informs all levels of a shadow into an expression of creativity at all levels of a gift. Simplicity is an art. The 23rd gene key of simplicity is the art of efficiency. Simplicity is the art of space. Simplicity is the artist who intelligently designs and uses their hands to feel, frame, shape, and recreate the fractal wonders of creation as a quintessential iteration of abundance and originality, as infinite expressions of light, life, and love. If you enjoyed this episode of Fractal Findings, please go to rquantumnest.com/luminous-listener. Subscribe to join a movement for collective change. Read and leave a question or comment on the Quantum Chronicles blog. Follow us on Instagram @rquantumnest. Listen to our other podcasts, the Lux Quadrant and Mystical Musings. For more inspiration, please visit the Quantum Nest online gift shop. Purchase and download the debut ebook release from Aletheia M, Polarity of Light, Contemplations of TimeSpace 1. Thank you for listening. Find the patterns. Change the heart. See the patterns. Change the scars.